Any remarks and intimidating actions directed at officials or competitors will not be tolerated.
Welcome everybody to A.B. Weathersby Field in Athens, Georgia. Saturday night's Classic City Championship between Clarke Central High School and the Cedar Shoals Jaguars. This is the 2012 only meeting between these two schools. Because of sub-region play, they only get to play once a year now for the Classic City Championship. So whoever wins tonight wins the Classic City Trophy. Clarke Central's at 5-16 overall. Cedar Shoals at 3-15. Both teams having similar type seasons, and this will be a game basically being played to see who's going to host the region consolation games. Last year it was Habersham, Clarke Central, and Cedar meeting up at Habersham for a round robin play to end the season. This year Cedar has already beaten Habersham. Clarke has yet to play Habersham, but tonight whoever wins this game, because Habersham hosted last year, they don't get to host 2 years in a row, so Clarke and Cedar basically playing for that right to host those games this year. Region standings have these two teams in the bottom of both sides of the sub-regions of play, so a little pride on the line for that as well, to try to get out of the cellar on both sides of the north and south sub-regions. Cedar and Clarke rivalry, it goes all the way back to 1973, so we'll be coming up on the 40th year next year of these two friendly rivals, which sometimes it's not so friendly when it comes to football and basketball, but baseball seems like it's always been a friendly rival. And got a great crowd after the spring barbecue that we had this morning. Had a lot of Clarke Central dads flipping birds at 6 a.m. this morning to get a fundraiser going for the Clarke Central Dugout Club. Then there was the G-Day game in town, so it's been a big day in Athens, but it's going to be capped off tonight with the Clarke Cedar Classic City Championship. And just another beautiful day. The nippiness has went away. We had a few days of nippy weather back on Wednesday and Thursday, but it just gave way to some beautiful spring-like temperatures. And it's just going to be a great night for baseball as they announce the starting lineups for both teams. So we're going to give way to our PA announcer, Michael Harris, to let you listen to those.
First base, number 15, Jacob Curry. Catching, number 17, Arjun Patel. The designated hitter, number 26, Alex DePaulo. Pitching, number 25, Jose Casas. Second base, number 11, Colin Davis. Shortstop, number 5, Dhruv Patel. And the left fielder, number 10, Steve Madison. Now for your hometown Clarke Central Gladiators, leading off and playing shortstop, number 16, Hunter Cutts. On the mound for the Gladiators, number 15, Patrick Matthews. Playing center field, number 27, Alex Harris. Your catcher, number 23, Jack Elliott Gower. The first baseman, number 17, Philip Trandell. Playing left field, number 21, Luke Bennett. At third base for the Gladiators, number 19, Tucker Crumpton. The designated hitter, number 5, Charlie Harris. At second base, number 4, Isaiah Sims. And in right field, number 3, Chris Resby. With both teams, coaches, and players, please rise, and all fans in the stands, please direct your attention to the right field wall as we honor the playing of our national anthem.
So there's your national anthem as we get ready to play some baseball once again at A.B. Weathersby Field. It's Saturday night. We're right on the heels of the Georgia G-Day game, which I'm not sure who won. Red and Black squares off on their annual event to play for steaks or beanies and weenies. And of course, the Braves have another game tonight with the Milwaukee Brewers. Came back in big-time fashion last night to win 10-8. We'll see if we can give you updates on that game as we progress here at A.B. Weathersby. On the mound tonight for Clarke Central, the sophomore sensation, number 15, Patrick Matthews, who pitched 3 outstanding innings against Loganville middle of last week. And had a great game against Madison County, pitching, I think, only a 2-hitter last Monday night. Your Gladiators in the field. We'll go around the horn. We'll start off at pitcher, Patrick Matthews. Catching tonight will be Jack Elliott Gower. First baseman will be Philip Trandell. Playing second base will be Isaiah Sims. At shortstop tonight, Hunter Cutts. Third baseman will be Tucker Crumpton. And the outfield from left to right, Luke Bennett, Alex Harris, and Chris Resby. That's your Gladiators in the outfield for this 2012 Classic City Championship. So sit back and get ready for some excitement. Every time these two teams meet, there's always some great plays. There's always some great hustle. Never is a game between these two where there ain't a little bit of controversy. We'll see if that comes into play tonight. And I'm sure the Gladiators are just glad to be back home for this game. Gladiators had an 8-game win streak in this series, snapped last year over at Cedar. Cedar was the victors 5-2. But up until that point, Clarke Central had won 4 back-to-back Classic City championships from 2007 to 2010.
Leading off, number 4, Devon Brooks.
So leading off for the Jaguars will be number 4, Devon Brooks, a senior, as Matthews is ready for the first pitch. And he delivers a pitch on the outside corner that Brooks hits foul. And your Athens Chevrolet first pitch time, 7:04 p.m. So we're underway. The 0-1 to Brooks. Swung on, hit sharp into the second baseman, Sims, who makes a nice diving stab, but could not quite get the throw over the first base in time. Brooks with some good speed. That ball was hit sharply. Sims did all he could do to knock it down. So we're off to a good start for Cedar here in the top half of the first. And that's going to bring up one of their better sticks, number 14, Adrian Haynes, just a sophomore, but he's batting .360 on the year for Cedar. He wants to square around and maybe act like he's going to bunt, but pulls back. Ball 1. And you got to think the way Brooks got down first base, he may be a good candidate to try to steal one here on Matthews. Good lead over at first. Matthews keeps him honest. I'll tell you what, Brooks is a hyper guy. He about hopped off that bag too quick while Trandell kept the glove on him. 1-0 the count to Haynes. The pitch, high and outside, ball 2. 2-0 the count. Cedar with a lot of fans. They always follow their team well. The 2-0. High and outside again, ball 3. So Patrick with a very uncharacteristic control problem here early, but it's not the first time we've seen Patrick do this season. He'll get behind in the count and fight his way back. Let's see if he comes after Haynes here. Once again, Haynes one of the better sticks on this Cedar squad. Nice pitch by Matthews, hard of the plate. 3 balls, 1 strike on Haynes. Brooks really got a nice lead over there at first. Just itching to go. There he goes. Got a good jump, doesn't matter, ball 4. So Cedar with runners at first and second, nobody out.
Now batting number 8, Ryan Lindsay.
This is going to bring up Ryan Lindsay, who has handled a lot of the pitching duties for Cedar this year. Matthews in the stretch from the letters. Way outside, gets past Jack Elliott Gower, and both runners will advance 90 feet. So not the kind of start we wanted here. Cedar's record, though they have only 3 wins, they do put the ball in play, and they do score a lot of runs. They are right around the 5.5 runs per game as far as scoring when you go to averages. The 1-0. Swung on and missed by Lindsay. Got to leave in the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, Matthews is going to have to do it the hard way. He's going to have to get 3 outs without letting a runner cross the plate. Brooks on third. Haynes on second. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. One and 2 to count on Lindsay. The 1-2, high and outside, 2 and 2. Seems like Matthews' fastball is just rising. I don't know if it's something to do with his mechanics. I don't know if it's coming down to his foot and where he's planting it, but the ball just seems to be taking off on him tonight. Not quite as good a command as he's had in the last 2 games. That time he blows it by Lindsay for strike 3. Strike 3 swinging. That's going to bring up number 15, Jacob Curry.
Now batting number 15, Jacob Curry.
So Cedar with a golden opportunity here, but Lindsay strikes out. So the Glads get 1 out. Top half of the first, we've just started from A.B. Weathersby. No score, but Cedar has runners on second and third with 1 out. Jacob Curry at the plate for the Jaguars. Classic City Championship 2012. The 1-0 for Matthews at the letters. Curveball catches the corner for a strike, 1-1. So maybe Matthews has found something that's working. He's standing a little bit further on the rubber now over toward the first base side. Maybe that was the trick. Maybe there was a little bit of a dip there in the middle, but he's got a lot more control of his pitches now. That pitch had some nice velocity, but it was a little bit high. 2-1 the count on Curry. That pitch is inside. Nothing wrong with Matthews' velocity. He's bringing it up there. He just ain't quite got the accuracy today. Cedar picked up their first region win last week at Habersham. They beat the Raiders 9-5 at Mount Airy. The 3-1. Swung on, hit to the right side. Sims fields it, gets the out at first, but they will play to run. Nice job by Jacob Curry to bring Brooks home, and it's 1-0 Cedar as their fans get a little excited.
Now batting number 17,
as they should be. So Arjun Patel steps up with 2 outs, a runner on third. Chance for Cedar to still try to get 1 here. First pitch to Patel, just a bit outside, 1-0. Adrian Haynes on third base. There are 2 outs. We're in the top half of the first. Cedar leads Clarke Central 1-0. The pitch. Perfect. Right down the middle by Matthews. It's 1-1. Patrick. That's going to be skied over to the third base side, but out of play. That's going to make the count 1 ball, 2 strikes on Arjun Patel. The 1-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and Patrick gets out of a jam. Cedar draws first blood. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on. Your score after a half inning of play. Cedar Shoals 1, Clarke Central 0. This is GITV. Chris, I was muted the whole time.
A special happy 30th birthday to Coach Eric Smith. Happy birthday, fans and fans. Happy 30th birthday, Coach Eric Smith.
So let's give you the Cedar Shoals Jaguars outfield alignment here in this 2012 Classic City Championship. On the mound is going to be Jose Casas. Catching tonight will be Arjun Patel. First baseman will be Jacob Curry. Over at second, Colin Davis. Shortstop, Dhruv Patel. Third baseman, Ryan Lindsay. And the outfield, left fielder will be Stephen Amison. Center fielder, Adrian Haynes. And over in right, Devon Brooks. That's your Jaguars outfield arrangement for this 2012 Classic City Championship. As they draw first blood, 1-0, Cedar leads it. We've played half an inning. Saturday night in Athens, Georgia. Beautiful weather, beautiful crowd. Everybody's stuffed full of barbecue after the fundraiser today. A lot of Clarke Central bodies not moving. Just kind of sitting still over there in the stands.
Leading off the bottom of the first inning for the Gladiators, shortstop, number 16, Hunter Cutts.
That's going to bring up shortstop Hunter Cutts to lead it off for the Glads in the bottom half of the first, and they face a very familiar foe, junior Jose Casas, who seems like he's in his 7th year at Cedar. First pitch right down the middle, strike. And one thing that Casas does, he comes after you. He doesn't waste around, no pitches, no time. He just likes to come straight at you. Pitched all 7 innings in that win at Habersham a week ago. That pitch goes outside for a ball. Looks like Jose might have had some of that Clarke Central barbecue today. Looks like he's filling out the uniform pretty good from last year. Put on a few pounds. That's over for a strike. Counts now 1 ball and 2 strikes on Cutts. And once again, like I said, Casas just a competitor. Pitches like Greg Maddox, just wants to come at you and get you out. Cutts nicely over to the right side, and it's booted by the second baseman. So a gift here early, and I don't know if he ever touched it. They'll score that a hit or an error, but nevertheless, Hunter Cutts is on base. They're going to give him an error, but a sharply hit ball by Cutts.
The pitcher, number 15, Patrick Matthews.
And that's going to bring up Patrick Matthews, our pitcher. So Clarke Central doing the same thing Cedar did, getting the leadoff guy on. So we'll see how the stretch affects Jose Casas. I know he loves the windup. Let's see if the stretch messes with him. Cutts with a good lead at first. The pitch way outside, gets to the backstop, and Cutts is up, standing up. Cutts down to second. Gladiators with a runner in scoring position, nobody out. One ball, no strike on sophomore Patrick Matthews. The pitch, lays it down nicely. Casas only plays at first, and he misses the ball at first base, and that's going to score Cutts. So 2 quick early gifts by Cedar Shoals gives Clarke Central the tying run. We're tied at 1-1. A misplayed ball by the second baseman. A fielding error by the first baseman on the Casas throw. And it's 1-1. And that brings up center fielder Alex Harris. This will be Alex Harris' second Classic City championship this year. The first one was in football, which Clarke Central won by a pretty decisive score. The 0-1 from Casas. Swung on and missed. Harris had a good rip. Had a very good rip. I'll tell you what, that swing might have cooled down some of the Cedar Shoals fans on this hot spring afternoon. That was a woof. 0-2 on Harris. Jack Elliott Gower waits on deck. Casas chases back Matthews, and again, I don't know if the sun's playing havoc with the first baseman or what, but he's having a hard time squeezing that ball when it's thrown to him at first. The guy think he's looking dead into the sun this time of day. Yeah, he's got his glove up in his eyes now. He's probably seeing a bunch of bright strobe lights right now. The 0-2 from Casas. Foul tip by Harris. Stays alive. The 0-2 outside makes it 1-2. Did they get him? Yes. Matthews couldn't quite beat the throw by Arjan Patel. Great job by the catcher for Cedar to gun out Matthews. Count now goes to 1-2 on Harris. So again, it's just another Clarke Cedar type game where it seems like every pitch and every play means something big. And Casas tried to deliver a big hook that time, but it was stayed outside. 2-2 the count now on Harris. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The pitch outside, ball 3. You can just tell Jose's not wanting to give Alex Harris much of that plate. He's wanting to make him chase, but now 3-2, he's probably got to come over right here. Swung on base hit. Alex Harris continues to do it. Harris hitting .491 on the season. He'll improve that average.
500 even.
He's at an even 500, says Greg Trandell.
The Gladiators, the catcher, number 23, Jack Elliott Gower.
That brings up Jack Elliott Gower, who has also found his bat lately. Been hitting the ball very well the last 3 games. A chance to move Harris around here with 1 out. Harris has gone on the first pitch. The Patel got Harris, and I'll tell you what, that's 2 in a row. Tell you what, that Patel's got an arm back there. You throw out Mr. Harris, you've done something. So 1 ball and no strike on Jack Elliott Gower. So Clarke trying to be aggressive on the base paths tonight. They've got burned twice. You hate running out of an inning. 1-1 our score. Classic City Championship 2012 from A.B. Weathersby Field at Clarke Central High School in Athens, Georgia. As Clarke and Cedar meeting for the first and only time this season, with only about 2-3 games left. 3 games for Cedar, 2 for Clarke, and the season is over. It's gone that quick. The 1-0. Jack Elliott Gower does it not happen every time. He makes a nice catch on a would-be base hit, the left fielder does, and the side is retired. But not before Clarke Central evens things up. Clarke gets 1 run on 1 hit. There were 2 Jaguar errors. Nobody left on. Your score after 1 complete inning of play. Clarke Central 1, Cedar Shoals 1. This is GITV.
They mentioned that on the radio broadcast today.
84.
I don't explain to the umpire, that's not going up the best.
So the Classic City Championship, there's a lot of fond memories, a lot of people that's participated. We're going to take you back right now to 1984. That's the head dog for the University of Georgia, David Perno, with his 1984 Classic City team picture. David Perno led the Gladiators to a Classic City Championship with his bat that year. And we need not say nothing else about Mr. Perno and what all he's achieved coaching the University of Georgia Bulldogs, taking them to Omaha quite a few times in the World Series. But a blast from the past. David Perno, Clarke Central Classic City Champions, 1984. As we bring you back now to 2012, Clarke and Cedar knotted up 1-1. Just a great atmosphere here, as it always is when these two teams meet. Patrick gets his last warm-up toss in. That's going to bring up number 26, Alex DiPaolo for the Jaguars. He'll be leading off. DiPaolo, a junior. He's also a Jaguar football player.
Shoals, designated hitter, number 26, Alex DiPaolo.
So this will be his second Classic City Championship of the season. Matthews' first pitch to DiPaolo swung on, pop fouled over to the Baxter Street side. No balls, one strike on Alex.
Guest in the press box. Jay's here.
The 0-1 swung on and missed, strike two on DiPaolo.
I had a nosebleed, so I gotta call you up.
The 0-2 for Matthews. Outside. 1-2 on DiPaolo. The 1-2 pitch outside. 2-2 now. Absolutely no wind here today. The flag over in right field is just about as still as it can be. That pitch caught the inner half of the plate for strike three, one away. So Matthews starting to home in on the plate now a lot better than he did the first inning. That's 3 strikeouts thus far for Matthews. It's going to bring up number 11, Colin Davis.
Colin Davis.
Matthews outside with the first pitch to Mr. Davis. So it's 1 ball, no strikes. Dhruv Patel, number 5, awaits on deck for the Jaguars. Swung on, hot shot to the left side, base hit. Nice piece of hitting by Colin Davis. That's the Jaguars' second hit of the day. Now bring up Dhruv Patel.
Now batting number 5, Dhruv Patel.
So Jaguars with a runner on first with only 1 out. Dhruv Patel is a junior as he takes the first pitch for a strike. The 0-1, Dhruv Patel. Not much of a lead for Davis over there at first base.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Fouled back as he squared around to try to lay it down. Count goes to no balls, 2 strikes. The pitch from Matthews. Strike 3, outside corner. That's the second caught looking this inning. That's a backwards K if you're scoring at home.
Batting number 10, Steven Addison.
That's going to bring up the left fielder, Steven Amison, with 2 away here and 1 on at first. Jaguars trying to extend the inning.
California thing, I don't know why. He's got here, he's always had a little bit of, I don't know. He wears his stuff a little bit different.
Swung on and miss. The 0-1 due, Amison. Swung on and missed. Snap back to first, but a little bit high on the throw by Elliott Gower. Davis gets back safely, but there's 2 strikes now on the batter, Amison. Matthews trying to work his way out of another little bit of jam here in the second. 1-1 our score. Clarke and Cedar tied. The pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. And Patrick Matthews ties a record held by many. He strikes out the side. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on. Your score after 1.5 innings of play. Cedar Shoals 1, Clarke Central 1. This is GITV.
It's really bad. Really.
Again, the Classic City Championships had so many memories. We're going to take you back in our time machine again in 1998 as Clarke beats Cedar over at Foley Field behind the hitting of a Corey Barra, the guy who is scoring the run there, and the pitching, number 21 of Sam Massey. Clarke Central defeats Cedar Shoals over at Foley Field. The year was 1998 as Clarke dominated that year with a playoff run. And Corey Barra was a draft pick out of high school for the Cincinnati Reds. So a lot of memories right there in that picture, folks. It don't get much better than that. Classic City Championship. We'll be bringing you memories every inning tonight. Blast from the past. As Casas gets his last warm-up toss in.
Leading off the bottom of the second.
Bring up the first baseman, senior, number 17, Philip Trandell.
Philip Trandell.
1-1 our score. Cedar, 1 run, 2 hits, 2 errors. Clarke Central, 1 run and 1 hit. Swung on, Tranny gets a hold of it. Did he burn him? Yes, he did. That's going to be a double for sure. Philip Trandell with a leadoff double. Good to see Trandell hit the ball.
Now batting for Clarke Central, left fielder, number 21, Luke Bennett.
That brings up the left fielder, Luke Bennett. Luke Bennett, one of Coach Rao's football players. This will be his second Classic City Championship of the season. Pitch from Casas. Called for a strike outside. Don't know if that was because Bennett left the bat out there or if it caught the corner, but either way, no balls, 1 strike on Bennett. Runner on second, Trandell. 1-1 our score. Nobody out here in the Gladiators second. Luke gets a hold of 1, but fouls it over to the left side. So Casas quickly ahead in the count, 0-2. The 0-2 bounces up to the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I feel like we did in the past couple of years. Not today. Obviously, we played well today, but we feel like we have.
1-2 now. Swung on and missed by Bennett for strike 3, and that's 1 away. It's going to bring up third baseman Tucker Crumpton.
Now batting for the Gladiators, number 19, third baseman Tucker Crumpton.
So 1 away here in the Gladiators second. Philip Trandell led off with a double. He's still at second. Tucker with a chance to pick up an RBI here. That pitch catches the corner for a strike, 0-1. Did he check his swing? Yes, he did. Caught him safe. Did not swing. 1-1, and I'm not sure if that outfield ump was even in the position to call that one. So, 1 ball, 1 strike on Tucker Crumpton. There's 1 out. Philip Trandell stands on second. The pitch from Casas. Breaker ball that stayed inside. 2 balls and a strike on Crumpton. Designated hitter Charlie Harris awaits on deck. Tied up at 1. 2012 Classic City Championships. Tucker hits one down the first base line, but foul. Needed about another foot to the left. Been a fair ball. Two balls, 2 strikes on the Gladiator third baseman. Casas in the stretch, and Crumpton calls time to try to break up his rhythm. Swung on and missed on a outside pitch by Casas, and there's 2 away. So the Gladiators' chance of cashing in on the leadoff double by Philip Trandell is starting to get a little dimmer here. And designated here, Charlie Harris will get his crack at it. Pitch from Casas outside. 1-0. Pitch from Casas high. 2-0. You got to think if Charlie gets something to hit here, he'll be swinging. Though you do not want to leave that runner at second. Trandell score on a hit. He's got enough speed. Well, I tell you, Harris almost took a crack at it, but he held back. 3-0, you got to be green lighting him here. He's one of the better hitters on the team. I got a feeling if he sees anything he likes, he'll swing here. The 3-0. Inside corner for a strike. 1-1 our score. We have a runner on second. There's 2 outs here in the Gladiators' second. Charlie Harris at the plate for the Gladiators. Casas pitch. Swung on and missed. Harris had a good rip. Couldn't quite catch up to the shoulder high fastball. It's 3-2 now. So Harris will protect, and Casas will try to throw a strike. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. So a leadoff double goes to the wayside for Clarke Central. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on. Your score after 2 complete innings of play. Cedar Shoals 1, Clarke Central 1. This is GITV. So very quickly, we're going to give you the North standings. Winder Bears in first place with a region record of 11-1. Flyer Branch in second place at 10-2. Madison County playing 500 ball at 6-6. In fourth place, Appalachia 5-7. Habersham and Clarke Central both with 2-10 records, tied in the 5th spot. That's your GITV 8 Quad A North sub-region standings on this April 14th, 2012 Classic City Championship Day. Holly Ward's up here in the press box with us, and she looks like she ate a lot of that barbecue today over at Hawthorne Drugs. She said it was delicious. Devon Brooks leading off again for Cedar Shoals. Second time in the game he's done that because he's the leadoff hitter. He takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. He drew a walk his first time up. The pitch for Matthews, swung on, miss. A little breaking pitch that bent down on the batter. Brooks. The 1-1. Chopper to Hunter Cuts. He fields it nicely, throws. Nice dig by Trandell, and he got him. Great play by Cuts. He got handcuffed on the chopper to him. And then on the throw, Trandell had to go digging, and he dug it up nicely. There's one away.
Adrian Haynes.
It's going to bring up number 14, center fielder Adrian Haynes, who's batting .360 on the season for the Jaguars. Just a sophomore. This guy's got a very bright future. He faces our sophomore, Patrick Matthews, so this is a battle we'll see for a couple more years at least. 1 strike on Haynes. The pitch from Matthews outside. Evens the count at 1-1. Shadows have now taken over the better part of 3/4 of the infield, so that doesn't affect the hitter anymore. The sun's not a factor. As Haynes watches that pitch go outside for a ball. 2-1 the count. You can just tell by the way Haynes digs in at the box. He's a very confident hitter, quick hands. He holds that bat low, holds them hands down around his rib cage, which tells me he's probably just a slap hitter, just a little punch hitter type guy. And he takes a strike inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Haynes has to guard the plate, and this is where you'll probably see a bad pitch get hit. He watches a nice one for a ball. Must have been a little bit outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes down on Haynes. 1 away in the Cedar third. We're tied at 1 apiece here at AB Weathersby. Swung on, little slap single up the middle for a hit. So not much power to that lick, but it gets the job done. Nice clean single for Haynes. And that's going to bring up number 8, Ryan Lindsay, the third baseman.
Number 8, the third baseman, Ryan Lindsay.
So the Jaguars with their 3rd hit of the night. Pitch from Matthews as Jack Elliott throws it down, not in time. Haynes very quickly gets down to second. No balls, 1 strike on Lindsay. Matthews tries to slow it down a little bit. Haynes with a good lead at second. That pitch catches the corner. It's going to be 0-2 on Lindsay. Lindsay didn't like the call. Shaking his head a little bit. No balls, 2 strikes to the third baseman for Cedar. Haynes with a good lead at second. The pitch from Matthews. Swung on. Missed, strike 3. That ball was a little bit high, but Lindsay swung at it anyway, and that's going to be 2 away for the Jaguars here in the top half of the third.
Now batting, number 15, first baseman, Jacob Curry.
That brings up senior Jacob Curry. Again with a chance to try to knock in one for Cedar with 2 outs here in the top half of the 3rd. Swung on and missed. Weekly must have been fooled on that pitch. So 0-1. One run, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Jags. 1 run, 2 hits for the Glads. Swung on and missed by Curry. It's 0-2. Catcher Arjan Patel waits on deck if Curry can reach. Matthews will probably try to waste the pitch here. They're going to set up on the outside corner. Came back inside for high for a ball. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch by Matthews, punched over to the right side. Foul. Is it going to get a car? No. Hits the netting and comes back into play. Cedar Shoals will be at home next Monday as they face the number 2 state-ranked Loganville Red Devils. Then they'll travel to Loganville on Wednesday and finish up the season Friday at Appalachia. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, pop foul, tip foul. Stays alive.
Got the umpire solid.
Clarke Central will be at home here at AB Weathersby this coming Monday for senior night as we play host to the Habersham Raiders. Be a very special night for the 3 seniors, Philip Trandell, Alex Harris, and Jeremiah Warren, and then we'll wrap up the season Wednesday at Mount Airy as we'll play those same Habersham Raiders. So baseball coming to an end very quickly here this 2nd week of April 2012. Matthews got him on a curveball. It's going to be popped up to Resby, who's got it, and the side is retired. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on. Your score after 2.5 innings of play. Cedar Shoals 1, Clarke Central 1. This is GITV.
The Clarke Central High School Athletic Department recognizes the following businesses as 2011-2012 Gladiators.
Again, the Classic City Championship brings back a lot of memories. We're going to take you back in our time machine again as we take you to the year 2001. In 2001, Clarke Central beats Cedar at Foley Field again, this time by the score of 14-1. In that game, Clarke Central was led behind the pitching and hitting of future Marlins draft pick Matt Goyen, and that's Matt Goyen right there stepping on home plate. A 14-1 win, Clarke Central over Cedar Shoals at Foley Field. The year was 2001. More memories down memory lane as we take you through the Classic City Championships, bringing you today's game and taking you to the past here on GITV. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Chris Resby, who made the last out for the Gladiators this top half of the end with a nice catch in right field. 1-1 our score. Jose Casas, Patrick Matthews having a good old duel here, and Resby got wood on it, but pops it over to the first baseman for a line shot out. There's 1 away.
Top of the order for Clarke Central, the shortstop, number 16, Hunter Cutts.
That's going to bring up shortstop Hunter Cutts. He's got a couple of nice defensive plays this evening. He's got a stolen base. He's scored the only Clarke Central run too, I believe.
Yep.
So Hunter Cutts having a good night. The pitch from Casas, swung on and missed by Cutts. Counts quickly 0-2. So both Patrick Matthews and Jose Casas seem to have settled down after maybe some first inning jitters, and we've got a good pitcher's duel on hand. Casas delivers that pitch way outside. Contrasting styles, Patrick a little bit more at work when he's pitching, studies a little bit more where he wants to locate and throw. Casas, he just rears back and throws it. And he just can't wait to get the ball back in his hand to do it again. 1-2 the count. Here on cuts, Patrick Matthews awaits on deck for Clarke Central. Casas sets, pitches. Swung on again and fouled away by Cuts. See if we can get some pitch counts for you here. It looks like Casas might be getting up there a little bit early. No? Breaking pitch, did not find the corner. Runs the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That was 38. Matthews at 51.
Wow, Patrick Matthews at 51 and Casas at 38. And I would have bet money that'd been the other way around. The pitch from Casas. 3 balls and 2 strikes, which, of course, Matthews has thrown one more half inning more than Casas, but I'm surprised by that pitch total. The 3-2, the Cuts. Slapped over to the left side. Is it going to stay in play? No. Hits the visiting bullpen as Amison chunks it back into Coach Kirk, and Coach Kirk's still good with the hands over there. He made a nice one-handed grab.
9th pitch of the at-bat.
This is the 9th pitch of the at-bat on Cuts. Jose Casas delivers. Swung on up the middle base hit. I tell you what, Cuts is having a heck of a game. Boys getting on base. I'll bring up our pitcher, Patrick Matthews.
Pitcher number 15, Patrick Matthews.
So again, with Clarke Central with a runner on. Both teams even now at 3 hits apiece. Matthews laid down a bunt first time up to move Cuts down. Or, I'm sorry, Cuts stole second. I think he moved him over to third. That pitch, wow, and I don't know where that one hit it. The shadow must have hit the corner. I don't think the ball hit none of it. Nevertheless, a strike called on Matthews, 0-1. Boy, that was close at first. Cuts just barely gets back. That was the beneficiary of a 6-3 frame there on that stretch back by Cuts to first base. No balls, 1 strike to Matthews. Casas in the stretch. He goes back to first. And to say Cuts is getting on his nerves right now may be an understatement. Casas, you can tell he's a little bit of a different pitcher in that stretch. The 0-1. Now he's going to step off and look Cuts back again. The pitch from Casas to Matthews, swung on and missed, strike 2. Center fielder Alex Harris waits on deck. Matthews with a chance to move Cuts down to second. If we can get one in play here. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. We're in the Clarke Central bottom half of the third. We're tied at 1. Swung on and tipped by Matthews. He stays alive. ...2012 Classic City Championship. Doesn't get much better. 1-1 our score. Casas again trying to catch Cuts napping. First baseman over there for Cedar Shoals not having nearly as hard of a time now since the shadows have reached him. You can see the ball Falacasas handle a lot better as Matthews goes down swinging. And there's 2 away in the Clarke Central bottom half of the third.
Now batting for the Gladiators, center fielder, number 27, Alex Harris.
That's going to bring up Alex Harris, who's hitting an even .500 for the season. Alex has 6 doubles, 4 triples, 3 home runs, 18 RBI, 20 stolen bases. He has done it all for Clarke Central. Skies that one to left, and I mean he skies it. Left fielder made a great catch, but I mean that ball was hit very high up in there as the side is retired right there. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on. We've completed 3 innings of play from A.B. Weathersby. The 2012 Classic City Championship, Clarke Central won, Cedar Shoals won. This is GITV. So as Matthews gets his warm-up tosses in, we'll take you down memory lane again from the Classic City Championship to the year 2002. And if that guy looks familiar, well, he is. That's assistant coach Trey Henson. Trey Henson, the current Clarke Central assistant baseball coach, led the Gladiators to a 2-0 win with a 3-hit day over the Jaguars back in 2002. Trey Henson, our hitting coach, getting it done on the field as well. And Trey, other than the haircut, doesn't look much different than the photograph right there. So Trey's done a good job of keeping his body in shape. Classic City Championship. Been going on since 1973. We're in its 39th year. Pitch count totals now for the 2 pitchers in this one. Patrick Matthews is up to 51 pitches. He's got 6 strikeouts. Jose Casas at 46 pitches with 4 strikeouts. And the Jaguars are going to lead off the 4th inning with catcher Arjan Patel. First pitch catches the corner for a strike, and Matthews looks like he may be throwing harder as the game goes here. That pitch had a nice bit of velocity behind it. The 0-1. Curveball catches all of the plate. It's going to be no balls and 2 strikes on Patel. The 0-2. Outside, but a little bit too far outside. It's going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes. Matthews tried to get Patel to chase. I believe Patel might have one of Cedar's hits. No, okay. He's thrown out 2 base runners, and he gets punched out by Matthews right there for the first out of the inning in Cedar's top half of the 4th.
Now batting for Cedar, designated hitter, number 26, Alex DiPaolo.
Now bring up number 26, Alex DiPaolo. Alex's dad and me know each other very well. We were giving each other a hard time out in the parking lot earlier tonight. Alex's dad said that Clarke Central folks couldn't count past 3, and I quickly told Mr. DiPaolo that's because we've got 3 state championships in football. We didn't need to count no higher. As that pitch is fouled away, 1-1. DiPaolo also plays football for the Jaguars. He's a center / offensive lineman. Does very well. Swung on fouls that one back. It's 1-2. Both pitchers after rocky starts have settled down tremendously. Both pitchers have not been very wild, and even the hits that have been gotten by both teams have not been nothing spectacular. That pitch looked very nice, but umpire saw it differently. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It was a curveball that I guess curved around the plate, not over it. That pitch hit slowly to the right side. It's going to be picked up by Trandell. The toss to Matthews, perfectly played. Nice execution by Patrick Matthews and Philip Trandell for out number 2. You can't draw it up no better than that. It's going to bring up number 11, Colin Davis.
Second baseman, number 11, Colin Davis.
This is the guy that had the hit a while ago, Colin Davis. So memory's getting worse by the day. I just can't quite remember numbers. I can remember faces. And I can remember times. I just can't remember exactly things I want to remember, like when to pay my bills, stuff like that. Pitch by Matthews. Swung on and missed for a strike. It's 1-1. One ball, one strike to Davis. That pitch is pop foul back to Baxter. Will it get a car? No. Michael Harris gives me the safe sign. It's like you can count to 1,003, and if you don't hit a thoink, you know it didn't get a car. The 1-2 swung on, popped up to the center fielder, Alex Harris. He's coming on, and he gets it. Nice play by Harris for out number 3. Nothing doing in the Jaguar 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. Your score after 3.5 innings of play. Cedar Shoals 1, Clarke Central 1. This is GITV.
South.
Yeah. While we're watching Casas take his warm-up pitches, we're going to run you through the GITV South standings, Sub-Region South, over in 8 Quad A. Loganville stays in first place. They beat Madison County this past Friday night, 7-1. They're 11-0 on the season. Heritage is in second place. Their record's at 8-3. Salem in third place at 5-6. Rockdale, who got pounded by Appalachia last night, 14-7, is in fourth place at 3-10, and Cedar Shoals in fifth place with a region record of 1-9. That's your GITV South Sub-Region standings on this April 14th day, 2012. As we're bringing you the Classic City Championship on a Saturday night here in Athens, Georgia. Rare Saturday night event. Just on the heels of the G-Day game. And
Off the bottom of the 4th inning.
traffic stand out on Baxter a good bit now.
Number 23, Jack Elliott Gower.
That's going to bring up the catcher, Jack Elliott Gower. Jack almost had a hit his first time up, but the left fielder had him played perfectly as he caught the ball on a line drive out. 1-0 the count on Mr. Elliott Gower. Philip Trandell waits on deck. Casas rare backs and chunks one. It's going to be hit to the first baseman, foul, and he makes the play. Nice play by Jacob Curry for out number 1.
Gladiators first baseman, number 17, Philip Trandell.
That's going to bring up Philip Trandell, the Clarke Central senior first baseman. He had a nice double to the wall his first time up, but got stranded at second. Had a leadoff double. A pitch from Casas, pop foul on a bunt attempt, and it's going to fall on the grass over here on the left side, 0-1. No balls, one strike to the senior Trandell. Casas, the junior, delivers. Curved ball, the breaking pitch, which may have topped out at 60 miles an hour for a strike, 0-2. Casas, not a lot of pitches, but he's good at different speeds on everything he does have. That pitch finds the outside half of the plate, but gets called for a ball. Must have been a little low. The 1-2 swung on by Trandell. It's going to be hit to the right fielder. Nice play. for out number 2 by the right fielder for Cedar. I think that's Brooks, yeah, the right fielder. Good play. That brings up Luke Bennett. Left fielder Luke Bennett. Quickly, 2 outs here in the Clarke Central 4th. We are tied up at 1. Both teams scored in the first inning, and that's been it. Bunt by Luke. Goes foul. No balls and a strike on Bennett. The way this game's going, we may be out of here before dark. We'll be headed to the top half of the 5th. Of course, we are tied up, so that could mean extra innings, and we could be here for quite a long time. Let's see. Pitch from Casas, outside corner for a called strike. It's 0-2 on Bennett. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch inside. That's the first ball on Bennett. 1-2 the count. Pitch from Casas outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes now on Luke. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Curve ball, strike 3, and Luke knew it. Froze him, nothing he could do. And the side is retired right there. 3 up and 3 down for the Gladiators here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Your score, we still stay tied. 1 apiece here in the 2012 Classic City Championship. This is GITV. I want to remind you each and every Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on if we're home and away, be sure to check us out here on GITV for the Coach Kyle Kirk Show, where we take you into inside information on Clarke Central Varsity, Clarke Central Junior Varsity. We'll take you around the region, get you updated on the standings and past games, scores, highlights. Give some shout-outs to some guys that are hitting the ball and doing some good pitching. That's the Coach Kyle Kirk Show each and every Tuesday or Wednesday right here on GITV.
Rebroadcast every home Clarke Central baseball game.
Matthews finishes warm-up tosses. And we're getting ready to start the 5th inning of play. Both pitchers in the 4th dueled magnificent. I can't say it. We'll just say both pitchers pitched very well in the 4th inning, as they both got hitters out 1, 2, and 3.
Leading off the top of the 5th inning for Cedar Shoals.
Let's see if the trend continues. Matthews is at 64 pitches and 7 strikeouts. So he gets ready to deal to Drew Patel here. First pitch is a strike looking, 0-1.
Drew Patel, that is.
Starting to get a little dark here at AB Weathersby. That pitch, it might be the hardest fastball of the night by Matthews. It's 0-2. Pitch count pretty much even. Matthews at 69, Casas at 57. That pitch caught all the corner. Drew didn't like the call. That's out number 1 for the Jaguars.
Now batting for the Jags, number 10, the left fielder, Stephen Amison.
That's going to bring up a freshman, number 10, Stephen Amison. Left fielder who's made some nice catches for the Jaguars this evening. First pitch skips across the plate for a ball. Amison likes to lay the bunt down. Watch for that. That pitch is inside for a ball. Being a lefty, I imagine he gets out of the box very quickly when he does lay a bunt down. He has not squared around yet. 2-0 the pitch. Outside. 3-0 the count on Amison. The pitch. And the good old, just make sure it don't hit the dirt, pitch by Matthews on a 3-0 count. It's called for a strike. It's almost impossible to throw 4 straight balls in high school. That pitch is swung on and missed for a strike, and now it's 3-2 on Amison. Seems like every 3-0 pitch, if it does not hit the ground or does not go over their head, they'll call it for a strike no matter where it crosses over the plate in high school. Swung on. Jameson stays alive. One run, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Jaguars. 1 run, 3 hits for the Gladiators. We're in the top half of the 5th. There's a full count on the left fielder, Amison, with 1 away. Curveball stayed a little bit high, and that's going to be ball 4. One of those borderline pitches.
Back to the top of the order.
That's going to bring up the leadoff hitter, Devon Brooks. So Cedar's got some speed on the base pass here with Amison at first and Brooks in the box. The pitch for Matthews. That ball skips. Jack Elliott Gower does a good job of knocking that ball down. Keeps it in front of him. You can just see Amison trying to gauge where he needs to be on Matthews. He's biting at the bit to take off to second. And this is one of those games that 1 run is huge. I keep thinking back to the Philip Trandell leadoff double that we didn't cash in on. Pitch inside to Brooks. It's now 2-0. 1 away here, top half of the 5th. Clarke Central Cedar, we're tied at 1. Jameson, nice lead at first. And that gets away from Jack Elliott Gower. And Jameson will get down to second standing up. So Cedar with a runner in scoring position, but even worse, Brooks now with a 3-0 count, and he may have the green light to try to make something happen here. Base hit will score a run for sure with Jameson's speed. And it doesn't get much easier. The next hitter on deck for Cedar is Adrian Haynes, one of their top 2 hitters on the year. So Cedar got making some serious noise here in the 5th. The 3-0 to Brooks, right down the middle, 3-1. Looks like Brooks was taken all the way, and it looks like he was mad because he might have wanted to swing at that one. 3-1 the count. Brooks the batter, Jameson the runner at second, Matthews the pitcher. The 3-1. Swung on, hit to the right side. Resby's got a bead on it. Makes the catch, and he'll come up throwing. Jameson's going to tag, and he'll make it to third base easily. So if you're a Cedar fan, the good thing is you've got a runner on third. If you're a Clarke fan, the good thing is there's 2 away. And now the tiebreaker, whether it's good news or bad news, I'd say it's bad news for Clarke because Adrian Haynes is in the box. You've got a good contact hitter, a guy that just likes to slap at the ball. He had a nice clean single up the middle last time up, Haynes did. The pitch, strike. Big strike by Matthews. That's putting the pressure back on Haynes. 0-1. Again, Haynes, one of those guys that just looks like he likes to make contact. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Haynes can't believe he missed that pitch. Matthews took a little something off that pitch. And now you're 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and Patrick Matthews gets out of a jam. Beautiful pitching by the sophomore Patrick Matthews to get out of the inning. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on. Your score after 4.5 innings of play. Cedar Shoals 1, Clarke Central 1. This is GI TV. We're going to take you through some more Classic City Championships of the past as we go to the year 2006. 2006, Cedar Shoals left-handed pitcher Sam Woods pitched in a slugfest as Cedar Shoals came back to beat Clarke Central over at Cedar 11-10. Woods in that game, not only was he good with his pitching, but he was 5 for 5 at the plate that night for Cedar. One of the all-time greats for Cedar Shoals, especially a left-handed pitcher, Sam Woods. I always remember that guy when he played Clarke Central. It seemed like he stepped his game up just a little bit when he played the Gladiators. Sam and Laniak and that bunch back in 2006 went to the playoffs and played Ringo. Got put out 2 games out of 3 against Ringo, but Cedar had a very strong season that year. And that was the year Brian Smith left Cedar and went on to coach and is now presently the coach at Wanda Barrow.
Leading off.
2006, Sam Woods. We honor him in
Leading off
the Classic City Championship.
For the Gladiators, number 9.
And now we're going to come up. Third baseman Tucker Crumpton here for Clarke Central in the bottom half of the 5th inning. One our score. Swung on and missed by Crumpton. So 0-1. Crumpton struck out earlier. Takes a pitch outside this time, evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, Casas, he don't waste no time, does he? He just, as soon as he gets that ball back, he's ready. The pitch. Breaking pitch inside, stays inside. 2 balls and a strike now on Tucker. And Tucker may be looking for a fastball here. I'd say he's probably going to be swinging on this pitch. Gladiators trying to get something started. Watches ball 3. Ball low. 3-1 the count. Charlie Harris waits on deck for the Gladiators. 1-1 our score. That pitch is a ball 4, and Crumpton does a good job of getting a free pass.
First walk.
That's Jose Casas' first walk of the game.
Hitter Charlie Harris.
That brings up the designated hitter Charlie Harris. He struck out his first time up. So Tucker with a nice lead at first. Casas doesn't seem too concerned about Tucker over at first. Comes to the plate and throws one high to Charlie Harris for a ball.
Tucker has no stolen bases this year.
I've been told that Tucker Crumpton has no stolen bases this year. It's always a time for a first. It's been a good time for that for Tucker. The pitch from Casas. The bunt laid down by Charlie Harris. Beautiful job to move Tucker to second. And the ball falls out of the glove. So the second misplayed ball by the Cedar Shoals first baseman, and that could cost them dearly. Clarke Central cashed in on a run the first time around. Now we've got runners on the corners with nobody out.
Number 3, the right fielder, Chris Resby.
So the nonchalant tag by the Cedar first baseman on Charlie Harris turns into a disaster as Clarke now has runners on the corners with nobody out. And they're going to walk Resby to load up the bases. They have no, well, no. Now they're going to pitch to Resby. Resby just needs to put the ball in play. A double play will get you a run here. Just put it in play. He squares the bunt, pulls back, takes it for a ball. After Resby, Clarke Central will have the top of the order. Hutt, Cutts, Matthews, and Harris. One ball and no strike on Resby. Cedar playing straight away in the infield. Swung on. Nice base hit by Resby. So the young freshman comes through for Clarke Central. Base hit to the right side, and the Gladiators now lead 2-1. That's just clutch hitting. That's getting it the old-fashioned way, slapping a single to the hole in the right side. That's going to bring up shortstop Hunter Cutts. So the Gladiators were runners on first and second. Still nobody out in the inning. 2-1 our score, the first time Clarke Central has led this evening. Cuts, lays down a bunt, a beautiful bunt. Casas late on the throw. All hands are safe, and Clarke Central is getting some serious business down here in the bottom half of the fifth. Bases full of Glads. And that's going to bring up the pitcher, Patrick Matthews. And that's going to bring a powwow to the Cedar mound as the Cedar coach. Is that Billy Bryan? Is that head coach Billy Bryan talking to his junior pitcher, Casas? And so far, it's just been a beautiful pitcher's duel. Jose Casas and Patrick Matthews has matched each other punch for punch, but Casas has run into some serious trouble here in the bottom half of the fifth. Clarke Central now with 2 runs and 5 hits. Clarke Central with Cedar Shoals with 1 run and 3 hits.
Gladiators, the pitcher, number 15, Patrick Matthews.
And again, the same thing applies. Just put the ball in play. Put the ball in play, good things will happen. Cedar now shores up the defense a little bit. They're on the grass. Bases loaded, nobody out. And Matthews swings at the first pitch and fouls it back to the right side. And that one just barely missed the car on Baxter Street. And John Ward's eyebrows just hit the top of his scalp. The 0-1 put into play by Matthews to the center fielder. Haynes makes the catch, but that's going to be deep enough to bring in another Clarke Central run. It's 3-1. 3-1 our score. All runners advance 90 feet. And that's going to bring up Alex Harris.
Now batting for Clarke Central, center fielder, number 27, Alex Harris.
And I got a feeling Harris might not see a pitch here. Well, they might pitch to him. With first base open, Harris gets the hit. The pitch from Casas. Outside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. Cuts on second, Resby on third. The pitch to Harris outside, ball 1. The 1-1. Outside, ball 2. That pitch catches the outside corner for 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Harris is going to be in swing mode here. 3-1 our score. The 2012 Classic City Championship. Swung on hard, hit hard to the right side and missed by the second baseman. 1 run is in. Kuntz rounds third. He will score, and Harris is thrown out at second. So the outs made at second, but not before Harris drives in 2 more RBIs. It's 5-1 Clarke Central here in the bottom half of the fifth.
Now batting for the Gladiators.
That's going to bring up the catcher, Jack Elliott Gower.
Jack Elliott Gower.
So Clarke Central with 4 big runs here in the bottom half of the fifth. That first pitch curveball is a strike. 0-1. Second pitch to get Jack Elliott Gower is inside for a ball. It's 1-1. Pop foul for strike 2. What happened? I don't know what was going on with the ump there. It's like he wanted to get in between Jack Elliott Gower and the catcher. Not quite sure what that was all about. 1-2 the count on Jack Elliott Gower. 5-1 our score. Clarke leads by 4. And Jack Elliott gets hit by a pitch. So So Jose Casas, after
Now batting for the
4 beautiful innings, has kind of lost it here in the 5th.
Philip Trandell.
And Coach Billy Bryan, this is going to be his second visit to the mound. That's going to require a pitching change. We're going to take a timeout here. Clarke Central leads the 2012 Classic City Championship here in the bottom of the 5th. 5-1's our score. Let's take a short break. This is GI TV.
Number 17.
So welcome back, Dave B. Weathersby, as Cedar Shoals makes a pitching change. Jose Casas did a very good job. First 4 and 2/3 innings. But Clarke Central touched him up pretty good here in the bottom half of the 5th for 4 runs. That's going to bring up first baseman senior Philip Trandell for the Gladiators. Clarke Central leads 5-1. 5 runs on 6 hits for the Gladiators. 1 run, 3 hits, and 3 errors for the Jaguars. Snap throw back to first, not in time. Jack Elliott Garrett dives back safely.
Courtesy runner number 20 over there. Jordan.
Courtesy runner for the Gladiators, number 20, Jordan Bonner's in for Jack Elliott Garrett over at first. And that pitch catches the outer half of the plate for strike 3. So Clarke Central does some damage. 4 runs off of 3 hits. There was 1 Cedar Shoals error and 1 Clarke Central base runner left on base. Your score after 5 complete innings of play: Clarke Central 5, Cedar Shoals 1. This is GI TV.
2008.
Again, some more Classic City Championship games from the past. We take you to 2008 as Clarke Central and Cedar Shoals met up over at Foley Field, and Clarke Central, for the first time in school history, broke out the black jerseys. And senior Chaz Crumpton led Clarke Central to a 7-0 shutout victory over the Jags. Chaz was 3 for 3 that game with 3 RBIs. He had a big-time senior moment during his senior year on that night over at Foley Field. Clarke Central 7, Cedar Shoals nothing the year 2008. And yes, if you're wondering, Chaz is related to me. I'm just not quite sure how. So we get ready to start play here in the 6th.
Leading off the top of the 6th inning for Cedar Shoals,
Patrick Matthews still on the bump.
Ryan Lindsay.
It's going to bring up third baseman Ryan Lindsay for the Jaguars. First pitch is a ball for Matthews. It's 1-0. Patrick now at 83 pitches on the evening. He does have 9 strikeouts. That pitch is low. 2 balls and no strikes on Lindsey. Don't count these Jaguars out. Like I said, they're averaging better than 5 runs a game this year. Even though they've lost their share, they put some runs on the board. And now Matthews way behind the count. 3 balls, no strikes to Ryan Lindsey. That pitch catches the plate for a called strike. 3 balls, 1 strike. It caught the outside corner, it appeared. Again, one of those things I've learned in high school baseball, if you'll just hesitate half a second and let that umpire call that ball, you'll get that ball 4 count. But if you try to show him up, he'll call a strike every time. That time the ball bounces and Lindsey scampers down to first base.
Third walk.
So Patrick now with his 3rd walk of the night.
Now batting number 15, Jacob Curry.
And I'm not positive, Greg, but has every walk been the leadoff hitter in an inning? I think so. No, just 2 of them. Just the Brooks kid and him. That pitch is over for a strike. It's a ball. Okay, 1-0. Okay, 0-1. Matthews chases Lindsey back. The batter is number 15, senior Jacob Curry. This part of the order, Matthews has not had much trouble with this game. That pitch goes way outside, ball 2. Matthews approaching 90 pitches on the evening. He may be starting to tire. We're in the 6th. Clarke Central leads 5-1. Pitch for Matthews is high, ball 2. Really starting to get dark here now at AB Wesby as we're hitting close to the 8:30 time mark of the evening. Pitch is fouled back. 2-2 now the count on Curry. Matthews almost looks like he's taking just a little bit more time in between pitches now. Maybe some fatigue setting in here. The 2-2 inside, ball 3. And it's got to be the hardest thing for a coach to make a decision on what to do when you've had a guy that's been pitching great to this point, and then when they start showing signs of fatigue, do you go with him, do you stay with him, do you leave him in, or do you get him out? And it's just a hard thing to do. The 3-2, that missed badly, ball 4. So the first 2 Jaguars reach here in the top half of the 6th. And that's going to bring up number 17, Arjun Patel, who's
number 17, Arjun Patel,
the catcher. He's thrown out a couple of Clarke Central base runners tonight. Had a good night behind the plate. He's now got 2 runners aboard with nobody out, Patel does, as Matthews delivers the first pitch. And they might have a play at third. Did they get him?
Yeah.
Got him out at third. Nice throw by Jack Elliott Gower. Tucker Crumpton applied the tag. And Cedar records the first out at third base this inning on a attempted steal.
13th caught stealing for Jack.
That's Jack Elliott Gower's 13th caught stealing in the season. And I don't understand why Cedar was running there when you're down by 4. Don't understand that. That pitch misses everything, including Jack Elliott Gower's mitt. And that's going to be 1 ball and 1 strike on Arjun Patel as the runner at first advances to second base. So Cedar with a runner in scoring position again. 1-1 to count, 1 away. Foul tip. Count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Patel. The 1-2 pitch from Matthews. Now that one skips away from Jack Garrett. That's going to allow the base runner to move to third. So it doesn't sound like a big thing, but that runner at third makes it a 3-run game. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Patel. Jaguars have a runner 90 feet away at third base. That's Colin Brooks. I'm sorry, not Colin Brooks. Jacob Curry at third base. That pitch is outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The full count pitch due Patel. Ball 4.
That was pitch 99.
That was pitch number 99. That was walk
5.
number 5 for the game, number 3 for the inning for Patrick Matthews. Coach Kirk's going to go out and talk to his young pitcher. That's going to bring up a very dangerous stick with number 26, Alex DiPaolo. Jaguars have runners on the corners with 1 out. DiPaolo, the junior, coming to the plate. Big chance for the Jaguars to try to cut into this lead. 5-1 our score. Clarke Central leads by 4.
Now batting number 26, Alex DiPaolo.
We were tied up 1-1 forever. And then in the 5th inning, Clarke Central exploded for 4. But now Cedar trying to get some of that back as DiPaolo squared around the bunt. Did he pull it back? I guess he did. There's no call made. They're going to ask for help. He called him safe. So I don't know if I ever saw the bat come back. But it's going to be a ball on the batter, DiPaolo. 1 ball, no strike. Runners on the corners, 1st and 3rd for the Jaguars. 5-1 our score. Clarke Central leads. That pitch is a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike now on DiPaolo. Matthews trying to get out of a jam again. We're in the 6th inning. 2012 Classic City Championship. That pitch is low. 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1. Swung on, little bloop, hit over the cuts. It's short, and he makes a nice dive and grab. I tell you, Hunter Cuts has got that shortstop position on lockdown. He has just been playing great defense all season long.
Now batting number 11,
And he demonstrates again why he's been there the entire season. Sometimes Coach Kirk will shake the lineup up a little bit and move guys around and play them in different positions, but not Mr. Cuts. He has stayed at shortstop the entire season. Been the one steady hand for this Clarke Central defense. Him and Alex Harrison center. First pitch to Colin Davis, bounces outside for a ball. There's 2 outs in the inning. Cedar Shows have 2 runners on, 1st and 3rd. Clarke Central leads by 4. 5-1's our score. Top half of the 6th. Swung on, hit sharply to the shortstop. Oh, and Hunter Cuts, and I jinxed him after bragging about his defense. He lets one get through his legs. That's going to play the Jaguar run. It's now 5-2. So Cedar cuts the lead to 3. And again, they have runners on the corners for 2 outs. So that's going to bring up number 23, Richard Whitten.
He's pitching now.
That's the pitcher now for the Jaguars. First pitch is a strike. 0-1 to Whitten. Whitten just a sophomore. Runners on the corners, but Whitten, he's got a lively bat, trust me. Cedar trying to make some noise here in the 6th. They've made a little bit as the runner at first scampers down to second. So now 2 runners in scoring position, but there are 2 away. 1-1's the count on Mr. Whitten as Matthews tries to get out of a jam here in the 6th. Clarke Central leading by 3, 5-2. That pitch sails high. 2-1 the count. Game is not over, folks. Not over by a long shot. Swung on and missed. Two and two the count now on Whitten. Matthews looked like he reached back for something extra on that pitch. And that pitch catches the corner for strike 3. And that will retire the side. Richard Whitten did not like the call at all. 1 run on no hits, 1 Clarke Central error, and 2 left on. Your score after 5.5 innings of play. Clarke Central 5, Cedar Shoals 2. This is GITV. Take you back through the Classic City Championship games one more time. We're going to take you to last year's game, 2011. Clarke Central's Tucker Crumpton eludes a tag at home plate, but nevertheless gets called out. This game was played over at Cedar Shoals, and Cedar benefited in a 5-2 Cedar win. That win ending a Clarke Central 8-game winning streak. Clarke Central were Classic City champions from 2007 to 2010. To that point, Cedar stopped the winning streak on that play right there. So there's your Classic City Championship as we took you down through memory lane all the way back from 1984 to now. And now we're in 2012, and this year's game is Clarke Central 5, Cedar Shoals 2 as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. And all I can say is, Gladiators, we need a few more runs. Cedar Shoals a dangerous team, averaging 5 runs a game, and they are not going away quietly here at AB Weathersby. Whitten gets his last warm-up toss in. Clarke Central's going to lead off with left fielder Luke Bennett.
Gladiators, the left fielder, number 21, Luke Bennett.
Whitten, the sophomore. He's going to try to put out the fire here and give Cedar a chance to get back in this thing in the 7th. The pitch, bunt, right back to the mound. Whitten fields nicely, throws the first, and the first baseman stays on the bag for the out. Throw was high, but the first baseman did a good job of staying on the bag for out number 1.
For the Gladiators, number 19, third baseman, Tucker Crumpton.
It's going to bring up third baseman Tucker Crumpton. Reached on a walk his last time up. Want to remind you that Clarke Central's last home soccer game of the year will be this coming Tuesday as they play Mountain View. The girls will start at 5:30. The boys will start at 7:30. Those games will be brought to you on tape delay here on GITV as Holly Ward will do the play-by-play for the Clarke Central Soccer Gladiators. So a lot of sports wrapping up around here on the campus on the corner of Baxter and Rock Springs as 2012 starts getting ready to give way to these seniors, the class of 2012. Going to be a lot of Kleenex boxes bought in the supermarkets here in the next couple of weeks as we start having senior nights left and right all over the place as some of these moms start losing their babies. 1-1 to count. Now 2-1 on Tucker. Five to our score. 2012 Classic City Championship. Tucker swings. He had a cut. Couldn't quite catch up with the Richard Wooden fastball. It's now 2 balls, 2 strikes on Crumpton. Charlie Harris, our DH, waits on deck. The 2-2. Tried to throw a little breaking pitch across the inside half of the plate, but it's a little bit low for a ball. It's now full on Tucker. 1 out in the inning. 5-2 our score. Gladiators lead by 3, but for some reason it does not seem like it's enough. The pitch from Whidden. Swung on, missed, strike 3. Tucker goes down swinging for the second time tonight. And that's going to bring up the DH, Charlie Harris.
Number 5, Charlie Harris.
2 outs in the inning. 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error on Clarke. 2 runs, 3 hits, 3 errors by the Jaguars. The pitch from Whidden. Swung on, popped up by Harris. It's going to stay in the infield. Shortstop calls for the ball, makes the play. And Cedar feels like they got a little momentum here heading into the top half of the 7th. Don't go nowhere. The 2012 Classic City Championship coming to its final stanza. Clarke Central 5, Cedar Shoals 2. This is GITV. As we want to remind everybody, our GITV Player of the Week this past week was freshman number 11, pitching sensation Terry McHugh. Terry earned his stripes last week against Loganville as he pitched 4 very strong innings and had another strong outing in 4 innings against Mazankay this past Wednesday. Terry McHugh, a freshman here at Clarke Central, our varsity GITV Player of the Week. So Clarke Central with a chance to regain the Classic City Championship. They eluded them last year after winning it 4 years in a row from 2007 to 2010. We're now in 2012 and Clarke Central are 3 outs away from securing another Classic City Championship banner up on the fence on the outfield wall. 5-2 our score. And Cedar's last 3 shots are going to start off here with number 10, Stephen Amison, the left fielder. Just a freshman, but he's got wheels, and watch him, always a threat to bunt. That pitch skips up there by Matthews. It's 1-0. Tucker playing way in on the grass. Trandell playing behind the base at first. 1-0 the count on Amison. The 1-0. Right down the heart of the plate for a strike. It's 1-1. We'll remind everybody that senior night will be this coming Monday at AB Weathersby, April 16th, as we play the Habersham Raiders. Swung on and missed by Amison, strike 2. As we say goodbye to seniors Alex Harris, Philip Trandell, and Jeremiah Warren, they'll play their last home game of their careers this coming Monday against the Habersham Raiders. That pitch is outside for a ball, 2-2. Clarke Central will wrap up the season on Wednesday at Mount Airy against those same Habersham Raiders. That ball is swung on, check, swing, fielded nicely by Matthews for an out, and there's 1 away. So Clarke Central now 2 outs away from regaining the Classic City Championship, and it's going to bring up the leadoff hitter, number 4, Devon Brooks.
Number 4, Devon Brooks.
Brooks has reached base a couple of times tonight. Matthews trying to tough it out. He's over 100 pitches. Swung on, fouled away, over toward Baxter, and John Ward's looking, no thud. John Ward can sleep again. The pitch, swung on, chopper up the middle. Can Sims make a play? Fields it, throws it, but not in time. Sims did all he could do. Every inch of his body, he reached out and backhanded the ball, but just couldn't get enough on the throw on the speedy Brooks. And now Cedar Shoals with a runner on. One away.
14, Adrian Haynes.
Brings up Adrian Haynes. He has a hit this evening. He's also gone down swinging on strikes. Cedar trying to fire up their boys. The crowd for Cedar getting all into this now. That ball gets away, and Brooks will go down to second. Did we get him? Oh, it was closer than I thought we had on a chance to get Brooks. I think Brooks thought he had more time to get to second, and Jack Elliott Gower threw a strike down the cuts. But nevertheless, Cedar with a runner on second and only one away. You know, and if you're Coach Kirk and if you're the Gladiators, you're thinking right now that runner don't mean nothing out there. Just get these batters. You're 2 outs away. Work on the hitter. That pitch for a strike. 1-1. And it looked like Patrick again reached back for something extra on that one. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 1 man on. The pitch. Swung on, breaking pitch, strike 2. Big strike there by Matthews on the batter Haynes. 1-2 the count. 5-2 our score. Clarke Central trying to close this thing out. That pitch caught all the plate, but didn't catch enough of it. A little bit high, I guess. 2-2. The 2-2 pitch to Haynes. On its way. Low, ball 3. If Haynes reaches, it'll bring the tying run to the plate. 5-2 our score. Clarke Central leading by a slim 3. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Big strikeout by Matthews. And now Cedar down to their last hope. That's the third baseman, number 8, Ryan Lindsay.
Ryan Lindsay.
3 strikeouts and a walk today.
Five to our score.
2 strikeouts and a walk for Lindsay today.
Ryan Lindsay has struck it out twice and also has a walk for the Jaguars, and now he's in the hole 0-1. Jaguars with a runner on second and 2 away. Swung on and missed by Lindsay. Now it's an 0-2 pitch. 0-2 pitch due Lindsay. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And your ball game's going to end right there. Your 2012 Classic City champions, Clarke Central, as they defeat the Cedar Shoals Jaguars 5-2. Clarke Central 5 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. Cedar Shoals 2 runs, 4 hits and 3 errors. And our GITV player of the game has to go to our pitcher, Patrick Matthews. He pitched all 7 innings, got out of some jams, was very effective all night long as Clarke Central regains the Classic City Championship. We'll remind everybody this Monday night, April 16th, for senior night, as we say goodbye to seniors Jeremiah Warren, Alex Harris, and Philip Trandell playing their last home game of their careers here at Clarke Central High School. Habersham Raiders at Clarke Central, Monday, April 16th, 2012, senior night here at A.B. Weathersby Field, and that's always a big-time thing as we say goodbye to our seniors.
2 hits Cuts, 2 hits Harris, 1 for Trondell, and 1 big hit by Resby.
Again, we had 1 special hit by a freshman, Chris Resby, that kept the Clarke Central 5th inning going as we played it 4 runs. Alex Harris had 2 hits to keep his average at 500 for the year. Philip Trandell, leadoff double. Can't say enough about these Clarke Central Gladiators as they bounce back from that disappointing loss last year at Cedar Shoals. Also want to remind you, anything you want to check out on Clarke Central Baseball, go to our website, CCHSGladiatorBaseball.com. You can check out region standings, schedules, rosters, and more. Even see pictures of this year's season. CCHSGladiatorBaseball.com for the latest in Clarke Central High School baseball.
12 strikeouts.
Patrick Matthews, again, our GITV player of the game with 12 strikeouts. Done a fabulous job. And that's going to do it here at A.B. Weathersby Field for the 2012 Clarke Central Baseball Championship. For our engineer, Chris Crumpton, our executive producer, John Ward, I'm Buster Crumptons, and our happy totals, Clarke Central 5, Cedar Shoals 2. Be sure to come out senior night, support our seniors as we say goodbye to them as we host the Habersham Raiders here on GITV. Once again, the happy ending, Clarke Central Classic C Champions 2012. I'm Buster Crumpton. So long, everybody.